Hi everyone, it's Lori and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to walk you through adding some winter elements to an image, editing with just Lightroom. We're going to use presets to create a magical winter scene. Let's jump right in. So the first thing that I like to do is think about adding some coolness to the image to give it more of that winter icy blue look. And the first way you can do that is using your white balance. So you can use the temperature slider to add more blue tones to the image, which automatically gives it more of that cool kind of winter look. So you can do as much or as little as you like. So another way to impact the color tones in your image is to use color grading. So color grading is tucked down under the color panel. And the way it works is it allows you to add color to your shadows, your midtones, or your highlights, or all three. So if you click this option on the far right, this is going to do a global adjustment. So that's one way that you can start. What I like to do is increase the saturation all the way up. Then I move the color wheel to add the color tones that I'm looking for. So if we wanted to add more blue tones or even aqua to this image, we can do that, and then you bring back down the saturation until you're happy with it. You could also add some luminance if you wanted to brighten. In this case, I don't really want to brighten this image, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. This would be a way also if we wanted to add some of those magenta tones that also can look kind of wintry. I think for this, I'm going to stick with the kind of blue tones there. So you've got color grading where you can impact the tones of the image. You also have your temperature. And another way is to use a preset. Now, winter presets do not come with Lightroom Classic, but you can purchase them online, and they're usually really inexpensive. So I have a set that I've had for many, many years. It says 2018. I think I actually purchased it back in 2016. It's called Luxe, L-U-X-E, Let It Snow. I think they still make it. But there are tons of presets for Lightroom available on the internet. You just want to find a winter one that includes color tone adjustments and snow. That's the real beauty of this one. So if you don't want to use Photoshop or another app or program, you're already editing in Lightroom, having a preset option can really make a fun adjustment to your images. So the way this preset works is it's got lots of filters that add different techniques to your image. So there's one called Ivy, there's a mist. I think that one's really pretty for this image. There's a sky. And then if we scroll down, there's all kinds of filters. So there's a blue and red wash. There's frostbite. I think that one's kind of neat. Frosted natural. So you can see as we move over these, I do like this one. Now, when you click on it, it's going to apply the preset. And when you come over to your editing panel, you can see the changes that it made. So it added a tone curve. It reduced the clarity, opened up the shadows a little, and I don't think it really did. It increased the blue plus 13 and the aqua. It did increase some of the colors a little bit. Now, the beauty of a preset is you're not stuck with this. So you can modify it. If you really want the clarity and maybe to add some texture, you can still bump those up. Maybe you don't want as much aqua. We could bring that back down, kind of reduce that a little bit. So you're not stuck with the preset. That's the beauty of it. It gives you a starting point. And maybe with these greens, I want to make them a little darker so you can continue to modify. So that's the great thing about a preset. And there's different ones in here we could try. That's icicles. That's really nice. There's one called Nostalgia, and I really like this one because it gives you this tone curve, which is a matte. So it's raising the blacks, lowering the whites, which gives you this kind of nostalgic matte look. All right, so the other beautiful thing about this preset is it includes snow. So without having to add a texture, without having to take the image into Photoshop, I can come down and add a soft wintry mix. So there's soft 1, which I really like. There's also snow, small soft. And this one is probably my favorite because it's very, very delicate and light, and it just looks really natural. Now, the only downside to a preset in Lightroom is you can't mask the preset off. So maybe one day there'll be a way to do that. But if you don't like it all over your image, then you wouldn't be able to use the preset. And you can't modify the amount of these tools. You can only change the amount of the actual color preset. So we can see where there's an option that's a blizzard, there's snow heavy, there's snow mix super soft, which I think is one that I also like in this pack. Yeah. So that's offering you some bigger bokeh, and it makes it look a little bit more like a winter day. So again, check out winter presets online. You can Google them and you will find tons of options. Once you look for them, see what's included, and also make sure that it works with the latest version of Lightroom. If you've updated, you should be on version 12, and you just want to make sure that it works with that. Once you download or purchase the presets, you click the plus sign and you can import. They're really easy to add, and they will pop up right here under your user presets. So I hope you'll have fun adding some fun things to your images. Let me walk you through one more edit before we close out. So these are some red berries, and there's so many different ways that I could edit this image to look more like winter. Again, just moving to that blue gives us a lot more of that winter light. Now I can also come in and add a mask. I'm going to select the background here, and Photoshop does a pretty nice job. And what I want to do is I'm going to darken this a little bit, and I'm just going to continue to make it a little bit colder. Really, really icy blue. Now I've got a lot of this bright light, so I am going to go back to the basic panel. I'm going to reduce the highlights just to kind of get rid of that. And then I think what I'm going to do is add another mask, a linear gradient. I'm going to come from this corner where that light is, and then I'm going to actually add some of that light back. We could also make that light a little bluer, and either open the exposure or we could reduce the exposure. It's kind of whatever you're kind of wanting to do. Now at this point with this image, I could also maybe, let's go back to the basic, add some texture, maybe add some clarity. Can also decide if I want to make it kind of moody and like night. I could maybe do a tone curve to pop the red a little bit. And one trick would be to do a mask where I click color range, come over and select that red, and now I can actually saturate that just to make it really stand out and give it some texture and maybe some clarity. Now with my handy preset, I can come over and add some of that small soft snow just to bring that to it, to give it just that magical winter look. So have fun playing, really think about your images and how you can give them a little boost of a winter look this season of winter and holidays. So have fun, everybody.